Good afternoon. Today's topic is on a very important aspect of the lens, which is Ectopia lentis. The word Ectopia lentis denotes that the normal crystalline lens or the cataractous lens has been displaced from its normal position, either due to a congenital cause or an acquired cause. So, essentially, ectopia lentis refers to a displacement of the lens. This term, the first reported case of a lens dislocation occurred in the year 1749, and Stellwag was the person who first coined the term ectopia lentis, and this was as early as 1856. It is very important for us to understand two terminologies, subluxation and dislocation. Although they are being used interchangeably, each denotes a specific type of displacement of the lens. Subluxation refers to a partial displacement of the crystalline lens located within the patella fossa with few zonular attachments, and dislocation is when it is completely outside the patella fossa, and it could be dislocated into the anterior chamber, into the vitreous cavity, or onto the retina. So, I would just like to show you exactly what these terms mean. When you say patella fossa, it refers to the retrolental indentation. That is, the normal lens is situated like this. It's a biconvex structure like all of us know. And this indentation of the vitreous, so the retrolental indentation of the vitreous, this space that we are referring to is the patella fossa. So, this area, this indentation is the patella fossa, which actually houses the lens. The lens is situated within that area. Now, if the lens is essentially present in the patella fossa, it is a normal position. When the lens slightly gets displaced, but it is still within the patella fossa, then we call it a subluxation. But if the lens is totally removed from this place and either goes into the vitreous cavity or it moves into the anterior chamber, then it is called a dislocation. So, dislocation is when it moves completely outside the patella fossa. This space is very important. This is called the Berger space. Berger space is another very important anatomical landmark. It refers to the posterior capsule, the space that is enclosed between the posterior capsule of the lens and the anterior face of the hyaloid. Hyaloid means the vitreous. So, this patella fossa is also called hyaloid fossa. These are very important terminologies, not only with respect to ectopia lentis, but it is important even for any case of lenticular pathology or the lens pathology. The importance of applied anatomy when it comes to ectopia lentis cannot be emphasized, because everything depends on the strength, the integrity of the zonules, the ciliary zonules. So, for this we need to understand that the lens is, as we all know, is a biconvex structure and has these fibril-like structures which are the zonules, and they have an attachment to the ciliary body and ciliary muscle. So, these zonules perform two important functions. One is accommodation, which helps us in refraction, which I have explained to you in detail in my class on refraction. But the second function, another very important function performed by these zonules, is called holding the lens in position. So, when the zonular integrity is lost or if it is weakened, then it is possible that a patient can develop ectopia lentis, which is the crux of our class today. So, these zonules are also called zonules of Zinn or suspensory ligaments, and these zonules extend from the ciliary body to the lens capsule. This is a capsule and it fuses at the equator. So, this is the equator, the junction of the zonules on both sides. At one side it fuses with the posterior capsule, and on the other side it fuses with the ciliary body. The anterior attachments are a little more stronger than the posterior fibers, and insertion occurs up to 1.5 millimeters anteriorly. So, it goes on to 1.5 millimeters. The zonules will go up to 1.5 millimeters anteriorly and 1 millimeter posteriorly. And these zonules are composed of a protein which is called fibrillin. So, that is the importance of the zonules. Any condition that can result in zonular loss or zonular weakness can be very dangerous, because the position of the lens will get altered, and as long as few zonules are holding it, the lens will still stay in position. But the zonules are totally lost, it can be a total dislocation into the vitreous And this not only happens in crystalline lenses, even in intraocular lens. Intraocular lens, as we all know, has two portions. The intraocular lens has a central optic and a haptic, two haptics. This is lodged within the capsular bag. Alright, so when it is lodged in the capsular, after surgery, after cataract surgery, this is lodged into the capsular bag after removing the crystalline lens. So when this zonular integrity is not there, it is very difficult to implant an intraocular lenses, and we use specific other instruments and rings which I will be talking to you in detail a little later.